leaderboard, man. Looks crazy. Michael Block? You kidding me? This guy is a savage, absolute savage. They said they should build a statue outside of the golf club at Oak Hill for him.
Dude, that was something special, that's for sure. I mean, and it had a little bit of everything too. He had the ace, the ace or herd around the world, basically.
Ace hurt around the world, and then he had the redemption par on 18. That was
Yep.
big. That was big.
That was like a
strong.
$70,000 putt, man.
And for a guy that doesn't make that lot kind of money, that's a lot of fucking money. We're not talking about like a guy like Dustin Johnson who's making $10 million a tournament over there, and he doesn't care about 70 grand. This guy's got to teach how many lessons to make that 70 grand, dude? Are you kidding? Like,
right?
That's a hunk of cheddar,
Dude,
bro.
what a story. I mean, it's like 10 Cup. I love that movie, dude.
It really
Kevin
is.
Costner.
It really is.
It's great.
It's
He was
definitely
even quoting 10 Cup, which is hilarious too. But yeah, you gotta love a story like that. And I mean, he played it unbelievably too. I mean, we know how hard that course was playing, how thick that rough was.
The rain.
You got Joel Damon's caddy, and I apologize, I forget his name at the moment, unless you remember it. But
no, I blanked.
Yeah, he ended up going out and like playing it to just kind of get a feel and see like how difficult and how good these guys are. But he's like a scratch golfer basically, and he ended up shooting 85, and which is still pretty good, but for our standards, it's like
yeah, for me that's really bad.
There we'd be shooting good. Like 120, but
I'd shoot 140 there probably.
Oh, dude, that place is gnarly for sure. Yeah,
I'm not even handing in a scorecard. Forget that.
Wouldn't even finish holes. That's for sure.
Just pick it up. Pick it up. Put the max.
How epic that would be, though. Oh my god, I'd pull my back in multiple areas. 100%.
Yeah, no, I can't even play it. I don't even think I could play a real course challenge like that. Like I'd probably wind up injuring myself trying to like swing too hard to make it across something, or like try to do something, strenuous. I know myself. I'll always try to take it too far athletically when I know I don't have it in the bag. It's my trademark. Pulling hammies is my business,
tattooed on your ass, don't you?
Yeah, pulling hammies is my business. Yeah, that's what I have right across the. It's a tramp stamp right across the middle back. That's what it says. It's great. It's like a Joe Dirt tattoo. It's fantastic.
Joe Dirt.
Speaking of Joe Dirt, though, man, Michael Block. I mean, come on, what a story. The guy, the hometown legend. Like, come on, man. He loves New York. You can tell he's a bona fide lover of New York now. He's obsessed.
Oh, dude, what an experience for him, for sure. And I'm pretty sure I heard, which is going to be cool, he's playing in the U.S. Open qualifier, and so is his son. So they could potentially like end up.
That's really cool.
Going against each other.
That's really cool. And he also got there were some other items. He's now in the PGA for the next tournament for next year. And then he also gets, I believe, exemption to next week's tournament. So
the Charles Schwab.
Yeah, the Charles Schwab. So we'll see how he does this week, and I think he'll do well. He's got a lot of momentum. It is hard to balance that. We'll see how he balances such a amazing. I mean, how do you come back from acing in front of Rory McIlroy in a major championship as a PGA professional? Like, how do you do that and like live, and wake up and eat breakfast the next day and like be a normal person? Like, how do you live as a normal guy after that and not feel incredible every day?
Yeah. Apparently he's already there. He played around, I'm pretty sure. So he's like trying to get the full experience of like gearing up, and which he's played in a couple, like a few other
this is
tournaments.
His first rodeo,
prior. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of sick that he's like, fuck it, okay, cool, man. I'm gonna ride this wave, and like if I'm gonna go and I'm having this opportunity, I'm gonna learn the course and play and try my best, and you gotta love it, man.
You know what's my favorite part about this guy? Yeah, that I was literally just gonna say. My favorite part about this guy is that he's a people's champ. he's so real when he talks in his interviews. He's just like an average guy you'd like meet at the club. Like after a shitty round of golf, you'd walk up and you'd have a conversation with this guy, and he'd be like, yeah, man, it, did this and that, and it bit shit this way. And he's just such he a real dude. He just seems like a
Right,
down to
right.
earth. After watching all these interviews going on afterwards, obviously people are interviewing him left and right. He's probably gonna be on Oprah. Um, but
For sure.
but it's
He'll
just
be in the next, yeah.
yeah, he's gonna
Yeah,
the book club's coming out. It's a whole thing.
yeah,
You gotta love a
yeah.
story. I mean, think about it. How many PGA professionals? Something 30,000 or whatever it is. These guys all have these shots, these random spurred shots. And I think I was hearing them say the best part about golf is it's the only sport out there that you can be a random guy just at a golf club that's great,
Or
that's a
gal.
good professional or gal or whoever, and you could just be a random person. I was just speaking PGA Tour specifically,
I
but
know.
yeah, I totally get you.
With you.
But yeah, so it's like you sign up for this. You're a PGA professional. You're teaching like lessons to bratty like rich parent teenagers for a living, and then now you get to fucking go and play in like a major tournament next
Yeah.
to some of the best names in golf. I mean, that feeling has to be absolutely euphoric, legendary, and probably sub to none that I could think of in terms of like accomplishments.
Oh,
It's got to be incredible. It's the only
absolutely.
sport you can do that in. So that's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you can, I can't even imagine the experience that he had. And to your point, playing next to these guys, I mean, you probably saw some of the interviews and whatnot of him talking about like just watching Rory's swing and hearing the ball live. It's just
Just
insane. And
whistle. Yeah.
yeah, and that makes it even more incredible what these guys do and what they're able to do because this guy like he competed with them and played up to their standards, and
Above and beyond.
above and beyond. But
15th
my point
place.
is he's still there talking about like these other guys and them hitting this ball and like
Yeah,
it
they're in
just
the
shows
clubhouse
how
talking
like
about him.
incredible. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but
So
dude,
true.
what a cool fucking story. And I mean, even beyond him, which I mean was an awesome story, is the guy that eventually won the whole thing was
Who?
Brooksy.
No one.
Brooksy,
I
man.
feel like no one even cares who won because it was such a Michael
I
Blunt
mean, it was an
weekend.
incredible story for
But
sure.
yeah, no, Brooks Koepka,
You can't take that away from Brooksy though.
obviously the headline of the whole weekend. He was the first live golfer now to win a major. He did it in under a year. So he did it very quickly in terms of people didn't think that live golfers were going to have the stamina to win a major because there was going to be too much talent in the field and 4 days was going to be too much for guys that are playing 3 days a week all the time. That was like the biggest like joke. All these article writers were like, oh, they're not going to have the format or they're not going to have the mindset because their mindset's going to change because they're playing these different tournaments every week. Well, it only took a year and there's only 4 majors a year. So I don't know. You do the math. It's happened pretty quickly. So I don't know. I think we're off the mark on that call there from some
Time.
writers. Time gotcha. So strap up. That moment was sponsored to you by PGA
There you go.
South Florida Selection Pale Ale by Sailfish Brewing Company in Fort Pierce, Florida.
What are the notes on that?
Let me hear. Let me give you the tasting notes. It's kind of like a backwashy, kind of like a no. It's actually delicious. It's very light and crisp. It's got a little bite to it, little hoppy bite to it, which is nice. It's a
Ooh,
true pale ale. It kind of tastes like a little West Coast pale ale, to be honest with you.
okay. Okay.
It's
Now,
nice.
what's that? What's a West Coast Pale Ale?
Like a little
Describe that. Explain.
Lagunitas. Like kind of like a subsection of Lagunitas. Like a little something.
Is that what you used to drink back when you were
I
living out
did.
there?
I did used to drink a lot of Lagunitas Brewing Company because they were everywhere. Every bar you went into, it's like, whatever. It's the California beer. Same as New York. You go in, it's Brooklyn everywhere you go. Brooklyn Brewery. No matter where you fucking go, it's always there. Or Montauk. Shout out to Montauk. They're everywhere now too. Holy crap, man. Montauk Brewing Company from our town out here.
Is
Holy
it from
crap.
Montauk?
Oh yeah. You wouldn't think by the name. It's crazy. But yeah, they are in all the sports stadiums and all the major freaking bars and shit. It's crazy. They've expanded rapidly. Shout out to them. Shout out to Montauk Bruco. They're a bunch of
What are
golfers
the
too.
major bars?
Oh, all the major ones. Not the regular ones, the major. There's only 4 major bars, just like PGA tournaments.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah. Come on, man. Get with it, dude. What are you, an idiot?
I'm not aware, man. I'm not hip.
Speaking
Not
of being
hip.
aware, Brendan's
Scott.
coming out to the Hamptons this summer. He's coming out to play some golf, some jolf, film some videos. We're gonna get some good content for Good
Hey,
Lies
give him
Golf.
my flight information.
Brendan's flight information and home address is yeah, and you can catch him there if you have any issues with him or this podcast, or if you have any complaints. Please call his direct phone number at he's lucky I don't know it by heart.com. But yeah,
Oh yeah,
so
I'm coming out, man. I'm stoked. That'll be
it's gonna
cool.
be a good time. Gonna come out, do some golf.
The wifey set that up.
Yep,
She
wifey
took
set it
the
up.
initiative. Not that I didn't want to, but that's kind of her thing, and she's good at.
Yeah. Usually, she's getting it done. That's what she's doing. She's getting it done, man. She's getting it done for you.
Brucey built a house just for us, just within a couple hours.
Yeah, my dad built a house just for Brendan and his wife in about 10 hours. He built a whole entire house like an Amish guy from ground up. It was really crazy. I watched him churn butter after too. It was pretty crazy segment of events, but um man, just a light back to golf because I have to talk about it. Now that I don't know what churning butter made me think of Victor Hovland,
Yeah,
but I don't know. He seems like a kind of guy that would churn butter, so that's what made me think of him. But he fucking had everybody on a scare. Everybody thought he was gonna win, and then Scotty makes a quick one for it too. That was an epic weekend. That was a lot of good
dude.
golf.
Victor's starting to become kind of that Brooksy style guy as well. Just in the sense that he seems to play his best golf when it's a major, at least recently, you know.
Sure. Yeah, and he's pinpoint accurate. So on a bad day, he's a great golfer. I would say he's got a good chance no matter what the condition is out there, no matter what course he's on because he's so accurate. Um but yeah, great tournament. Obviously Charles Schwab coming up this week. If the bank is still around by the time the weekend is there, who knows?
We hope so, though.
We hope
just for golf's sake.
Just for golf's sake. And yeah, and a couple guys. Justin Rose had a good week last week.
Rosie.
Your boy Sepp Straka had a nice week.
Georgia boy.
Georgia boy, right?
Go Dogs.
Little Patrick Cantlay with Joey
LaCava.
the Magic Man on the bag. Little T9. Magic Man. You know, I think that's a pretty good showing for Cantlay in a major. I would say that's looking pretty good for the next setup. I would say that they did pretty well.
Find his groove. I'll tell you a sleeper for this week and moving forward. I liked him going into the PGA Championship, and I like him still moving forward. Little Tommy Fleetwood, your boy.
I've been growing the hair because I know
he's playing real
win.
Good golf.
I know he's going to win soon. That's why I've been growing the locks.
Maybe this week. Maybe this week could be sneaky. This week
he could be Charles.
He's at least consistent.
He could be Tommy Charles Fleetwood this week. And speaking of the new golf, you're golfing this week, and you golfed last week.
Golf last week, yeah.
Where'd you go last week, Brendan?
Dude, so I actually did a real early round. Let me tell you what's going on here, okay? So I met up with a couple boys that I've worked with in the past.
Couple of boys.
Travis
did a job. Did forklift jobs.
DJ. Yeah. With the boys.
Forklift operators.
Yard, laying brick. Mortar. Dollar.
If us two idiots could pick out mortar at a fucking building supply place. Yeah, right.
But yeah, so woke up super early, went out to this place called Heatherwood Golf Club. So it's in Springboro. I'd consider it's not. My wife would say it's not, absolutely, and so would everybody else. But me, I always
just
say
Brendan.
that it's in the greater Cincinnati area, but it's I guess technically in the Dayton area.
Got it. Okay, so there's some fighting lines that Brendan's had with his wife about this town, so we need to be sensitive here.
Yeah. I bowed down. Yeah, no. So I drove out there at a 7:40 tee time, all leading up. You know me. I'm checking the fucking forecast like days out just to see what's going on, and it's saying it's gonna have like 60% rain and whatever. So it rained that night and into the morning. It wasn't super heavy, but it was pretty. It was a good rain. It was a good rain. I drove out there, after a little choggy, I stopped at the Starbucky, had a little coffee, got out there, and 40 minutes before our tea time, it stopped raining. It started to clear up. We basically got 18 holes rain free, and it was perfect conditions, and we had ourselves a day, dude. It was great.
You
It
know
was great.
what? I don't mind a golf after, like golf, if it's rained and then the rain stops and then it's just like that dewy, like leftover rain because the grass is kind of heavy. I don't mind hitting out of that condition. I actually like when it's like that because it gives weight to the grass for me. And for a guy who sucks at golf, I think hitting my irons feels safer. It almost makes me feel like I'm in more control. I don't know how that makes sense at all, but I feel more in control when it's slippier, not slippery like raining in that moment, but after it's rained and the ground feels kind of soggy and heavy and like I don't know what it is, but I feel like I always play better golf when it's like that.
Dude, don't even try to identify it. Thing is you like it wet, and that's your
And
thing, and
muddy.
that's cool, dude.
Hmm.
All right, that's cool. Sure,
That's why I bring an extra pair of pants when
you
I
like it
golf
wet.
because it gets muddy out there.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's cool. That's your thing. You're good at it. That's your game. It is what it is. It
That and
wasn't
the
even
sandwich.
soggy though. I was blown away about how like well the course drained and the conditions. I mean, hell, even in one of the video I posted, there's like a point where I'm standing in a fucking pit of mud, but it wasn't even soggy. Like I'm out there standing there not getting mud on my shoes,
Wow.
which was amazing because it had rained all night.
Shout out to that
Um,
groundskeep. Shout out to the
it was great. It was
greenskeepers and
great.
the grounds crew.
And that leads me back into the conversation of like why I say the greater Cincinnati area, because I'm willing to drive 50 minutes out there. I think it's well worth it. The price point, it was like $75 or something like that. And I would argue that at least the grounds condition are probably for sure top three course, public course in not Ohio, Cincinnati. And
Right.
and I would say like very easily could be the best condition course for public in the Cincinnati quote unquote area.
Yeah. I mean, that's if it's like that and it's $75, that's incredible because out here
Yeah,
you can't even go anywhere. I mean, I can play Montauk, which is a top public course. That's great, but that's the only one. So if you get bored
yeah,
of playing Montauk so many times, you can only go to so many places. You have like top rated courses all the hell around you in Cincinnati. It's so crazy. They really
right.
love golf in Ohio, man. Holy shit.
It's
I didn't
great, dude.
realize how many professional golfers had homes in Ohio.
Like you, man.
I forget off the top of my head,
All of them.
like
All of
every
them do.
single friggin' one, but I was just reading there's a few guys that have been playing well actually recently. I forgot.
Yeah,
Fuck, who are they just posting about that? It was like, oh, chipping away at his house in Ohio. I forget. Oh,
yeah. This guy that lives in Ohio, though,
this
right?
guy, this Ohio guy,
And he
and he's a
golfs
guy,
sometimes.
and he wins,
No,
and he
dude.
golfs.
Fucking look up Heatherwood. It's Heather Wood with an E on the end. It's unbelievable.
No, we're not
Um,
going to look it up. They're not going to look
no, we won't look it up, but the people will.
it up.
All of them.
No, Jamie, pull it up. Oh wait, this isn't Joe Rogan. We don't have
No, yeah, you're
Jamie.
right. Joe, pull this up. Just got Joe
It's just
Rogan.
Joe Rogan in the corner typing.
Yeah, that would be fucking
Um,
sweet.
one day, hopefully. Yeah. So epic week
Golf.
for you, golf. Look at you. So, what how'd you golf
Yeah.
though? Like, what was the final score?
Final score. I shot a 90. Dude, I
That's
cannot.
great.
I
I'll take a
actually
90.
play. I played fairly well. I had a number of one putts My short game was probably the best it's been in months. I just had one of those days. I like everything I was hitting, even the little chips. I had like 3 chips that fell
Just buttery.
a foot to 2 feet short of dropping.
Mm.
And I just couldn't hit the fucking ball with my driver or any of my woods. Again, that is my detriment, man. It kills my
So what's
scoring.
stopping you from going to the range and just working on that all for like 2 hours?
Just time. Just time. When I get the time to go out, I just want to play. But yeah, if I did, my game would be much improved.
Sounds like you're making
I mean, the
excuses.
thing is,
Sounds like you need to play less rounds and more range, Brendan. Sounds like you need to work on your drives.
Shut your mouth.
God, man, how are you going to be a PGA professional at this rate if you don't go to the driving range?
Dude, I'm just going to get good over time.
Mm.
But by the time I'm 84, I'm going to be nasty.
I can imagine.
Anywho, yeah, dude. So I eventually just stopped hitting those clubs. It was the 11th hole. I fucking tripled it. It was a par 5 and I tripled it. And it was the same thing I mentioned last week where I just like
Sucks.
hook. And then I just said, fuck it, pulled out an iron, laid it up, nice strike, and then put it on and made a putt.
Yeah.
So I just told myself I'm not hitting wood or a driver here on. I'm hitting a 4-iron off the tee. And I shot much better on the back. Granted, I wasn't in like areas to make birdies because I was hitting shorter, and I had to hit longer.
Right.
Irons,
so your score wasn't going down, but making par is par, man. And if as long as you can make those shots.
My score was decent. It was better than the front 9.
Right.
My point was
I
couldn't take anything off.
No redemption. There's no beer pong redemption here. Last shots, last calls.
Yeah.
None of that nonsense.
But dude, that place is nasty. I'm definitely going to start going out there a little more often. It's well worth the drive, for sure.
And that's what you did. And then for next week, we had some golf planned. I think I'm going to be playing some golf. It's Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to be playing some golf.
Get out there.
We'll be getting out there and friggin' hitting some sticks. But I got the mic'd up range session, so be careful. Stay tuned for that. Good Lies Golf listeners. I'm going to have the mic'd up little sessions there we're going to do on the course. We're going to do that at Montauk, Sag Harbor, etc. Going to be mic'd up, baby. Going to be playing with
a round or a lesson with Sherman would be fucking hysterical. I am on edge.
You were about to hear it, so you better get ready. It's going to be sick. Let me tell you.
That would be sick. I'm also playing. I'm going to be playing at Blue Ash at some point. I haven't made tee time. I've been keeping an eye out though. There's a little availability, but this is the last weekend I can use a gift card that I have for a free round. So I got to do it. Yeah, for sure.
Use that coupon, baby.
I'll be out there. So
using that coupon
at some point. That's a top 3 public course in Cincinnati area. So
you're spoiled, man.
I'm getting out there right now. I'm playing some, and that's an affordable place too. And that's the place with those cushy ass carts that we were talking about.
The little coolers and the little fancy things. I love.
Yeah, the coolers. Yeah,
the coolers.
Come on over here, son. Let me show the coolers. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that was.
That sounded like, I thought you were doing Waterboy, to be honest.
I was for a second. Well, no, I wasn't, but yeah.
That's why
whatever came out, and there's
Sam Snead looks like Roberto from Waterboy. I'm sorry, I hate to say that. Sam Snead. He does look like Roberto from Waterboy. Like, ciao, it's your daddy, Roberto. Like he looks like that, dude. Sorry, Sam Snead, no disrespect. But like that photo looked really, really spot on that they posted like Golf Digest.
We could be partners like Tiger Woods and his daddy.
Like Tiger Woods, his daddy.
Ciao, Roberto.
One of the greatest films of all time.
Oh my god!
And dude,
hilarious.
That's fuck. That's the best. Freaking sports world, man. Generally, Mets are coming back in a little streak here. Coming back,
Mets boy.
I'm a little happy boy. Like Mets are coming back.
Yeah, so
you and your dad are happy.
There you go.
And
I haven't been watching too much baseball. I'll be honest. I haven't been watching too much.
In your basketball.
I have. Yeah, the Nuggets, man, they just swept the Lakers. That's pretty epic.
I heard, yeah, I saw on Snapchat there it said LeBron retiring question mark. And that's how I heard the news that they lost. And I was,
Nah,
kind of
nah. I mean, if
laughing
he
about it.
did, I get it, but like there's just no point. I mean, he even said he still feels like he's better than 95% of the league, and which is,
Isn't
in my
that
opinion, it's true
hilarious?
if he wants to be.
But how long do you truly think he keeps it up? Like how long do you think his body? Do you think this medical science he's been using for like 30 years is actually
I
like all this
I
stuff? Do
think
you think it's going to keep him in it?
I think he retires in probably 2 to 3 years. I think he gets like at least 1 year with his son Bronny, which is probably a one and done at USC. And then
Oh,
uh
right.
so within 2 years he would
Sure.
have the ability to play with him, which is a goal for him, but he's even said like that might be a goal for me, but like if Bronny doesn't want that, then he doesn't want that,
Well, that's
which
true.
of course.
But he could also LeBron could also always transition to be like a role player on any team. He could play till
Oh
he's like
no,
fucking
and
45. Like
right, and that's what
he
I
could
was
play
gonna
till
say.
whenever.
Like his body could easily play. He could probably play until he's 50,
He really
physically,
could. Like and just be a role
physically,
player and make shots and like
dude.
play well and like be a scorer.
I
you
mean, he
know?
could come at some point. He could come off the bench. He like imagine him like a Udonis Haslam,
Yeah, that's what I mean. He just
but
comes off the bench
but
and he's
like
6'8" and he's
unfucking
like
believable still for 10 minutes per game. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Uh, he
that's be
could
crazy.
absolutely do that, but I think mentally and shit, like he'd probably just be ready to watch Bronny like have his own career after that single
True.
year that he gets to play with him.
How much can you do, man? I mean, he's done it literally all. Like he's done it
Yeah,
all. You can't do anything more than LeBron's done at this point. Like besides just win championships, there's nothing
the
else he could
dude's
like further add to.
38 and he just averaged, or I'm pretty sure he averaged a triple double, which no one's talking about. And it was quietly,
Yeah.
and he fucking put up 40 points at 38 years old, you know, and he got beat, but still, man, it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. LeBron James, Jabron Lames, you know,
Yeah.
just
However you feel about him, I mean, statistics are
hey,
statistics.
I
You know
felt
what I mean?
bad about him when he left. I felt good about him when he came back and won, but I tried to not feel too good about it because I didn't want to spoil my own emotions if he left again, which he did. So then, he got one for us on a petty, and I appreciate that. And he's the man forever for that. But
There you go. There you
there's my confession. But
go.
it's the only time I'm ever saying it. With that being said, man, I think that's another episode of Good Lies Golf.
Yeah, for sure.
You
You
know?
getting out there?
Yeah. I'm getting out there this weekend. That's it. Gonna hit a little Sag Harbor Montauk, do the mic'd up session, have fun with it, and I'll post something for you guys next week.
I just can't wait.
Something.
I can't wait. I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked I forgot about it, and now I'm re-stoked.
There you go, brother. All right, V.
Peace.
Well, another week. We'll see you next week.
All right, man.
Cheers.
Hit him straight. Hit him long.
I will.